Hello and welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
And I'm Penny.
And thanks for coming back to join us for the last part of Stories and Fables this month. We are well into our story, The Little Thief in the Pantry, and Gray Whiskers, the little mouse, and his mother are well into stealing some food from the pantry of the house that they live in.
Yesterday, Gray Whiskers sort of broke his mother's rules by sneaking upstairs to the pantry all by himself. She didn't want him to do that because of the danger that he might get caught by the people who live in the house.
But of course, Gray Whiskers went anyway, and he stole some cake. It was almost the perfect crime.
Yes, almost, but not quite. And that's because his mother woke up from her nap. She felt hungry, and so they went up to the pantry again to get some food.
And that was when his mother noticed that the cake was missing some pieces. She knew that little Gray Whiskers would never break her rule, so she just assumed that some other mouse had eaten the cake. Gray Whiskers didn't tell her the truth.
And so here we are today, getting ready for the third part of the story. Before we begin, though, we need to learn about the vocab for today. Let's go and do that now. 好，隔天小老鼠 Gray Whiskers 他又自己偷偷溜到储藏室，他在那边发现一个小木屋，里面有起司，于是呢就直接跑进去了，然后接着他听到咔嗒一声就出不去了。我们先来看看两个单字 cheese 就是起司，它是名词，例如 cheese is high in fat， cheese is high in fat， 起司的脂肪含量很高。那刚刚说直接跑进去，我们用到的单字是 straight 表示直接地，在这边当副词用。例如 They went straight home from the airport. They went straight home from the airport. 他们从机场直接回家，中间都没有逗留。好，故事接着说到，厨师发现了小老鼠，然后就把它拿给生日寿星 Ethel 看。这个小女孩 Ethel 就问厨师要怎么处置这只小老鼠。厨师说，当然是把它杀掉咯。好，我们来看两个单字 cook 它有烹调或是煮的意思，可是在课文里面它是当名词来指厨师。例如 Her father works as a cook in a local restaurant. Her father works as a cook in a local restaurant. 他父亲在一间当地餐厅当厨师。最后一个单字 kill 它表示杀或是杀死，是个动词。例如 He killed the cockroach with a shoe. He killed the cockroach with a shoe. 他用鞋子把那只蟑螂给打死了。好，那现在看完单字例句，我们赶快来读故事，看看小老鼠会有什么样的下场。The next day, Gray Whiskers popped up to the pantry again. He found a little wood house with some cheese. He ran straight in. Then he heard a click and couldn't get out. Explanation 1.
Okay, so our title is The Little Thief in the Pantry. And as we know by now, Gray Whiskers is the name of that little thief. And what do you know? As we begin today's part of the story, he's back at it. The first sentence for today tells us, the next day, Gray Whiskers popped up to the pantry again. Oh dear. I guess since he got away with stealing the cake yesterday and had no trouble doing it, he thinks it's easy to go up there and get some food anytime he wants. He doesn't realize that he may have just been really lucky that first time.
And he may not be so lucky this time.
Exactly. So we'll find out what happens after this quick break so that Daphne can tell us all about our first grammar point of the day.
大家好，我是 Daphne。今天的第一则文法是 pop up， 意思是突然出現、現身。pop 是不及物动词，表示突然或迅速地来去。三态是 pop、popped、popped。 例如 Lucas popped up at his girlfriend's office. Lucas 突然现身女友的办公室。
So, Gray Whiskers is back in the kitchen pantry, and he's looking for cake or any other tasty thing that he can find.
But as we continue with our story, it seems that he doesn't find any cake, at least not right away. What he does find is, strange. The next sentence in our story tells us he found a little wood house with some cheese. 小老鼠隔天又跑去储藏室，这次不是看到蛋糕，它是发现一个小木屋，里面放了 cheese。那么 wood 这个字就是形容木质的。
That's so nice. Those nice people upstairs made him a little house to live in, and they even put a snack out for him. So friendly and kind.
No, Mike, I don't think this house is really a house.
Oh? You mean...
Yes, it's
a trap. He's got to get away. He could be killed. Run away, Gray Whiskers, run away. So what does he do? What does it say?
He ran straight in.
It says that?
It says that.
Oh, man. And then it says, then he heard a click, and he couldn't get out. He's caught like a rat.
Or a mouse.
Or a mouse in a trap. This is really not good.
小老鼠它中了人类的陷阱了。它跑进小木屋之后，然后听到咔嗒一声就出不去了。好，补充单字 click 这个名词就可以表达咔嗒声，像门关起来的声音，或者是像你按滑鼠的那种声音。好，那我们先休息一下咯。Okay, we'll take our break right here, and then we'll be back to see what terrible things are going to happen next.
I'm scared.
The cook found him and showed him to Ethel. The little girl asked, "What will you do with him?" The cook answered, "Kill him, of course." Ethel couldn't let that happen. When the cook wasn't looking, Ethel let Gray Whiskers go. Gray Whiskers ran straight home to Mother. He would always listen to her from then on. Explanation 2.
So, Gray Whiskers has been caught in a mousetrap, which makes sense because he is a mouse.
But he's a cute little mouse. He's the hero of our story.
He is.
And we like him.
Exactly, which is why we are worried about him right at this moment. Let's read on to find out what happens next.
Okay, the next sentence of the story tells us the cook found him and showed him to Ethel. Well, she must be the little girl whose cake Gray Whiskers stole a piece from in the early part of the story.
Right, and since Ethel is a nice little kid, she doesn't immediately scream and want to get rid of Gray Whiskers. No, kids are usually really kind to animals because kids are so nice and sweet. So we read, the little girl asked, "What will you do with him?"
But the cook, well, isn't a sweet little kid, so we read, the cook answered, "Kill him, of course." Oh dear.
Oh dear is right. It could be curtains for Gray Whiskers. Poor little guy.
But don't worry.
I'm worried.
Because Ethel is still there and she doesn't really like hearing what the cook just told her.
Well, the cook's planning on killing the mouse. So yeah, that's right. And we read, Ethel couldn't let that happen. I knew she was one of the good ones.
So Ethel jumps into action. And we next read, when the cook wasn't looking, Ethel let Gray Whiskers go. Yay!
Way to go, Ethel! And what did Gray Whiskers do? He got out of there, of course. He's no dummy. It says Gray Whiskers ran straight home to Mother. Fee-you, that was a close one.
It sure was. And as we reach the end of the story, I'd say that might be the last time Gray Whiskers sneaks off on his own to try to steal something from the pantry. The final sentence in the story tells us he would always listen to her from then on. Well, good. I hope he does.
Yes, at least until he's much older, bigger, and wiser to the dangers of the pantry. It's not all just cake and snacks up there, you know. Okay, well, we're almost done here, but that final sentence in the story actually had a couple of grammar points in it. So let's learn about those from Daphne, and then we'll be back to say goodbye.
第二则文法是 A listens to B， 意思是 A 听从 B 的话。Listen 是不及物动词，意思是听从听话。例如 Gertrude always listens to her parents. Gertrude 永远听从爸妈的话。第三则文法是 From then on， 意思是从那时起。From 是时间介系词，意思是自从。Then 是名词，意思是那时候。On 是副词，意思是继续。From then on 就是从那时候起，使用的时候常常搭配过去式。例如 From then on, Snow White and Prince Charming lived happily. 从那时候起，白雪公主和白马王子过着幸福快乐的日子。
Okay, that's another Stories and Fables unit for you guys. So, until we meet again, be careful out there when you are grabbing a snack. Be kind to mice, and if you see a nice wooden house with some tasty cheese inside, just stay away. It's a trap. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye. The Little Thief in the Pantry. The next day, Gray Whiskers popped up to the pantry again. He found a little wood house with some cheese. He ran straight in, then he heard a click and couldn't get out. The cook found him and showed him to Ethel. The little girl asked, "What will you do with him?" The cook answered, "Kill him, of course." Ethel couldn't let that happen. When the cook wasn't looking, Ethel let Gray Whiskers go. Gray Whiskers ran straight home to Mother. He would always listen to her from then on.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天要介绍的文法重点是附加问句。所谓的附加问句，是指加在直述句后面，用来反问对方意见或是征求对方同意的简短问句。由于附加问句的目的是在反问对方，因此直述句和附加问句的属性必须相反。也就是说，肯定直述句后面要搭配否定的附加问句，而否定直述句后面要搭配肯定的附加问句。举例来说， We can't watch that movie, can we? 我们不能看那部电影吧，是吗？那例句里面的主要子句 We can't watch that movie 是否定句，所以后面搭配了肯定附加问句 Can we? 接着我们来学附加问句的句型。第一种句型是主词加 be 动词加其他字词，逗号 be 动词加主词。要特别注意，附加问句里面的主词必须配合主要子句，使用相符的人称代名词。例如 John is a student, isn't he? John 是个学生，不是吗？好，第二种句型是主词加一般动词加其他字词，逗号助动词加主词。例如 You go jogging every morning, don't you? 你每天早上都去晨跑，不是吗？好，第三种句型是主词加助动词加动词加其他字词，逗号助动词加主词。例如 The children didn't go to the playground, did they? 孩子们没有去游乐场吧，是吗？接着要介绍的是附加问句的规则。首先，附加问句和主要子句之间必须用逗号隔开。附加问句的主词和动词必须倒装。
好，第二个规则是主词要跟主要子句里面的主词一致，并改成人称代名词。举例来说，假设主要子句是 Mr. Hanks is friendly and funny， 它是肯定句，要形成附加问句就把主词 Mr. Hanks 和 be 动词 is 倒装，再将主词改成人称代名词 he， 记得要将 is 改成否定的 isn't。那么完整的句子就会是 Mr. Hanks is friendly and funny, isn't he? Hanks 先生友善又有趣，不是吗？好，第三个要提醒的规则是附加问句和主要子句的动词时态必须一致。第四个规则是在否定附加问句里面的 be 动词或助动词必须跟 not 缩写。例如 Mike and Wendy were at the bookstore, weren't they?Mike 和 Wendy 在书店，不是吗？最后一个规则是，当主要子句中有出现 never, no, nothing, no one, nobody 等等具有否定意思的字词时，主要子句必须被视为否定句，后面要搭配肯定的附加问句。例如 They have never watched that movie, have they? 他们从来没有看过那部电影，是吗？好，不过要特别注意的是，当主要子句是 to, too 这样的句型时，虽然是在表达太怎么样而不能怎么样，但仍然要视为肯定句哦，后面要接否定的附加问句。例如 The car is too old to run fast, isn't it? 这辆车太老旧而不能跑很快，不是吗？好，最后要介绍的是附加问句的答句。附加问句的答句跟一般问句的回答方式是相同的。如果是肯定的结果，就回答 yes； 否定的结果就回答 no。例如 ，Henry works in Beijing, doesn't he? Henry 在北京工作，不是吗？如果 Henry 在北京工作，就回答 yes, he does。是的，他是；不是就回答 no, he doesn't。不，他不是。那么以上是今天的讲解，我们下次见 ，See you next time， bye。Hello， 大家好，我是 Annie， 又到我们1分钟的单元喽。那我们今天用1分钟的时间来复习4个单字，还会造4个例句。同学们，您都准备好没？1分钟计时开始。第二单字是起司，起司就跟英文很像吧，所以应该知道哪个字吧 ？Cheese。Are you a cheese lover? 你是个很爱吃起司的人吗？你是个爱 cheese 的人吗？第二单字呢，它可以形容是直，像直线很直的，那也可以当副词来表达直接地。好，这个字叫 straight， 我们要用副词造句。He was so tired that he went straight to bed. 他累到就直接去睡了，直接去床上睡觉，这样 went straight to bed。OK， 第三个单词是厨师，那这个字当动词也有煮的意思，那你就知道它叫做 cook， 厨师。The cook is from Italy， 那位厨师是来自意大利，很好吃的感觉。第四个单词呢是杀死，杀的意思叫做 kill。He killed the dragon and saved the princess. 他杀了那条龙，然后拯救了公主啊，英雄！好了，太好啦！我们在1分钟之内复习完4个单词哦，同学们表现很棒，我们记得要多多复习，多多造句练习哦。那么下次一起加油，我们下次见，拜拜。
See you next time.